When I asked my father why he kept a locked metal box under his bed for 30 years, he finally showed me what was inside. Now I understand why he never talks about the war. My father has always been the quiet type, the kind of man who fixes everything around the house but struggles to express when something is broken inside himself. Kien up. I knew 3 facts about his military service. He was a combat medic in Vietnam. He served 2 tours, and he never wanted to talk about it. The black metal box first caught my attention when I was 7. I was hiding under his bed during a game of hide and seek when my hand touched its cold surface. When I asked about it later, he simply said, "That's private, son. Some things need to stay locked away." Over the years, I spotted him opening it exactly twice, once after my mother's funeral and once on the night we got the call that Uncle Mike, his best friend from the service, had taken his own life. Both times he made sure he was alone, but I glimpsed him from the hallway, shoulders hunched over whatever secrets that box contained. Last month, my father turned 72. His hands now shake slightly when he drinks his coffee, and the once imposing frame that carried me on his shoulders now seems smaller somehow. After his birthday dinner, he asked me to stay behind after everyone else had left. "Come to my room," he said. "Here is something I should have shown you a long time ago." I followed him upstairs, my heart pounding as he knelt with effort beside his bed and pulled out the black box. The lock clicked open with a key he kept on his personal ring, the one he always said would go to me when the time comes. Inside were not the medals I'd imagined, nor the weapons some veterans keep. Instead, I saw a small, worn leather journal with water-stained pages, a stack of letters bound with twine, all addressed to my mother, but never sent, a faded photograph of 5 young men in uniform, arms around each other's shoulders, and at the bottom, wrapped in cloth, a child's small rubber sandal caked with decades-old mud. He picked up the journal first. "I kept track of everyone I couldn't save," he said, his voice barely above a whisper. 73 names. I remember every face. The letters, he explained, were written during his darkest days in the field. I couldn't bear for your mother to know what I was seeing, what I was becoming. The photograph showed the only men from his
My son Alex.
3 of the 5, including Uncle Mike, had died by suicide in the decades since, but it was the small sandal that finally broke him. He held it in his weathered hands, and for the first time in my life, I watched my father weep openly. "Her name was Mai," he said through tears. "Maybe 6 years old, stepped on a mine while running toward our convoy for candy. I tried everything." His voice cracked. "I carried her for 2 miles trying to find a pulse." He placed the sandal back in the box with the gentle reverence of a man handling something sacred. "I keep it to remember that in war there are no sides, just people, and most of them are just trying to make it home." We sat in silence for a long while after that. Not all boxes should be opened, but some secrets aren't meant to be carried alone. The next morning I found the box on my kitchen table with the key taped to its surface. Underneath was a note in my father's careful handwriting: "Some burdens become lighter when shared. I've carried this long enough, your turn to decide what to do with it. I haven't opened it again. Some days I think I should bury it, let those memories rest with the man who lived them. Other days I think these stories, the real cost of war, are exactly what the world needs to hear." For now it sits on my shelf, a black box recording of one ordinary man's journey through extraordinary darkness and the private battle he's fought every day since coming home.